All right, yes, it is time. It is time for another Horror Fest stream. And today we're going to be playing Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance. This is the Xbox... I guess it is technically an Xbox One game. I'm playing on a Series X. You can't see it on camera. It's literally right next to me. I had to move the behemoth in here to just do this. So one of the fun things about this is, if you'll give me a second, I have to actually unplug and plug in my headset into the controller so I can actually hear the game that I'm going to play. So that's a lot of fun. So we're going to do that really quick. I got to turn off my DAC here. Let's make sure this is working okay. All right, that's a good sign. It's unlike Deception. The PS4 is awful for capturing audio, man. Like, holy shit, the Xbox is wonderful for this kind of stuff. As I see a like small little hair sticking out of one of the vents of this machine. So, all right, well, here we go. Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance. I have not started my run of this game, so behind the scenes. Probably the game I have played the most in the last month is Circle of the Moon. I played some Far Cry, I played some other stuff, but I think I'm going to try and get all the achievements in this collection. Because obviously I'm a diehard Castlevania game. I actually kind of give a shit about that. Not that I really care about achievements that much anymore, but games that I care about. I'm going to drink some water here. So, as with all the streams for Horror Fest this year, this is just going to be an evening with. So... wow, that is, there we go. So, as classic Castlevania, we're going to name our character Blunts with a Z. Yep. As I drop a guitar pick on the ground. So, the last time I played these games in particular was 2017, back when I was still at GameStop. I had, right before the Switch, or 2017, summer of 2016, I actually brought in my GameCube, and we had a shitty flat panel, like 720p screen. Oh no, I take it back. I apologize now that I think about it. We were using a tube TV, but I had a tube TV set up in the break room, and on my lunches, I literally played through all three of the GBA games with the Game Boy Advance player, and then I would leave my GameCube there. Obviously, I would take home the cartridge and play it on my Game Boy SP, and that's what I did that summer. And I played through all three of these, so it's been a couple years at least. But I was really happy that this collection came out because it's pretty cool. So I've only really honestly been playing Circle of the Moon of this collection. I haven't even touched the other games in the collection. This is the first time I'm touching Harmony of Dissonance. All three of these GBA games are phenomenal Castlevania games. So, and I'm actually gonna turn probably the sound down just a little bit because it's actually kind of loud. And actually, I apologize, guys. I'm actually going to turn the sound down there as well. There we go. That's much better for me. It was really, really loud. The one thing that always annoyed me specifically about this one is I didn't like the, I just realized I gotta change the controls for all three of these. So one of the things that I don't like about this collection is the default controls have the attack button as B. Who plays backwards like that? That's really messed up. So we're gonna change that really quick. Whoops. Display the map screen. Attack. And I believe we're all good now. Cool. Although I will also say, of these three games, this is the one I've played the least. So I don't I know I obviously completed all of them, but this one is the one I remember the least. But I don't like the outline of like how he looks. There's like a weird color scheme going on here that I never cared for in this one. I think it actually does the game like a disservice, whereas you look at like the Soma Cruz one, Era of Sorrow, and Era, I forget how you say it. And you look at Circle of the Moon, I think they just look better. So, boy, I can't do shit here. I'm so used to using all my powers in Circle of the Moon, so this is gonna be fun. I guess, hold on a second. It seems messed up that I can't, but it's been so long. I see. I will say though, that screen looks better than Circle of the Moon. So there's that. Oh, you know what else I need to change? That's probably going to help me here too. Screen settings. We want pixel perfect because this is looking kind of funky. And I like... Let's try this wallpaper. And then let's bust out a save. Oh, I have 10 save slots per game. That's cool. I didn't know that. I've been saving in the same like 3 save slots for Circle of the Moon because I thought it was spread across all 4 games in this collection. I am wrong. Wow, this looks so much better. Whoop, wrong button. Look at the map here. Yeah, I don't know. Can you really seriously not like... Yeah, because you need to be able to open that, but you can't even get through that door that way, so it's got to be a different way that you go. I've grinded so many levels in Circle of the Moon. I'm level like 67 or 68 now. I'm just trying, since I'm trying to 1,000 the game, I'm trying to get all of the, I think I'm going to stick with this for a minute. I'm trying to get all of the cards in that game, because that's what the system in that game is, the cards that you can collect have like different powers and abilities and stuff, right? And so in order to get the last card, it's part of this shitty battle arena that you cannot, conveniently, you can't use any of your powers. What does the soul orb do? I don't remember. Spellbook. Okay, I guess, whoop, I guess that. Relics. Soul orb. Allows user to recognize how much damage an enemy has received. Okay, well, that's something, I guess. You know what? That's the other thing that I typically change now that I think about it. Let's change that to controls. So rather than having B be the map screen, let's have that be the display, the status. Excuse me, and this be the map. Oh, that's cool. I can't remember if there's any secrets there or not. Well, we definitely want to equip that. It's at least something. Funny, I totally in like my free time, like I totally should be playing like Far Cry and some of the other new games, and like I'm more drawn to play through all three of these again because they're such excellent Castlevania games, and like it's still kind of mind-blowing when you think about how many, like they were firing off these Metroidvania style Castlevania games like almost once every year in 2 years for a while. We got 6 of these before Konami rebooted Castlevania, which some people liked, some people didn't like, and then obviously now the franchise is just dormant. I mean, the Netflix series is excellent, but pretty much like there's always rumors floating around about like, oh, they're, you know, Konami's doing this, Konami's doing that. Like, there's a pretty big rumor going around right now that they're working on rebooting Castlevania, and there's always the rumors of Silent Hill and stuff, but at this point, who knows? Like, who knows what Konami's actually doing, if they're actually going to do this, or if it's just a bunch of bullshit that people are just kind of throwing out there. I don't know. Like, I'm of the mind of, like, you could totally make another Castlevania like this, and I would be happy. But we also live in a world where Bloodstained happened now, so like, I also kind of just want a sequel to Bloodstained, which they've already said they're making a sequel to Bloodstained, so that's pretty cool. But you never know. Oh, let's see here. Oh, you know what I should have done? I keep forgetting. There's the save system, and then there's the save system, so. Marble Corridor. God, that's a cool killer song that I probably have somewhere on my computer, since I have every Castlevania soundtrack. So I use a lot of Castlevania music in the backdrop of my videos. Like, a lot. It's kind of ridiculous. I use that, and then that's the one problem I have with this, is because of the triggers, I hit these buttons like all the time on accident. They're really going for like the NES music style here. What a great laugh. Man, I really like this song here. This little intro, like very ambient before it gets really jazzy. So I played a little bit of that Apple Arcade Grimmer, however you say it, Grimmer of Souls Castlevania game since it finally came out. I got a new iPhone like a month ago, and I had the like 3 free months of Apple Arcade, so I was like, I'll give it a shot. I bought a Backbone because you cannot play it with those type of control. It's trash to play with touchscreen. No. It's okay, but it's very like slow for Castlevania feel. Like, all 3 of these games feel incredibly responsive, and I feel like this one doesn't. Also, some of the artwork's a little jarring and weird, so I don't know. I don't dislike it, but I need to spend more time with it, and I really honestly haven't. It's not. By the time I go upstairs to go to bed at night, like, I'm putting on, and I've been watching Blue Bloods, and I put on an episode of that, and I pretty much just watch an episode of that and I go to sleep. So like, I haven't I watched, like, since it's Halloween time, I haven't watched the new Chucky show. I've definitely been meaning to watch this new Chucky show just to see if it's any good. I just haven't watched it yet. But I decided finally to give that Netflix Midnight Mass show a try this past weekend. I watched like the first 2 episodes. It's not bad so far. I haven't really gotten to what the mystery of it is, but it seems okay. I have not watched Halloween Kills yet either. I have it because it's on like Peacock or whatever. So I just haven't sat down to watch it. My girlfriend wants to watch it too, and that's part of it. She works overnight, so having our schedules lined up is difficult sometimes to watch something like that. So I haven't had a chance to see. I haven't really watched any spooky movies this Halloween season at all. I really, really, honestly haven't. I've been so focused on, like, you know, with the job that I'm doing now, work-related things, and then by the time I get done at night, like, especially since I moved into this place, a lot of my evening is like cooking meals with my girlfriend, and then by the time she leaves, like, I might have an hour, like, once she goes to work, I might have like an hour to play a game or something, but like, I don't have a lot of time before it's like, oh, it's bedtime, like. And then the funny thing is, with the job I'm working now, like, the job I'm working now is remote as well, which I'm just going to stay remote, obviously. Like, I don't want to ever go back into an office for any kind of work setting, but the job I have now is remote, and I wanted to, it's an hour ahead. So the company I work for is based out of Connecticut, and so they're an hour ahead of me. So, like, the shift that I took is more or less an hour ahead of me, but it's like the late closing shift. And the funny thing is, like, I once I got out of my training, I maybe did that for like 2 weeks, and they're like, do you want to move up an hour? I'm like, absolutely. So now I get done at like 6 o'clock at night instead of 7, which is nice. Actually feels normal again. The like 2 weeks I did that was nice, because then I was able to sleep in a little bit longer, and I had a little bit of time in the morning, and now it's like, now I could get up. I like the first week of being on this shift that I'm on now, I was like, oh, I could totally, like, you know, just move everything back an hour and still have this time in the morning. And every day ever since like maybe the first 2 days, I've totally just been like, I'm gonna just sleep because I'm tired. So here, I'll bust out another save here. But it's been good. Like, it's been that. I've had some personal things, like, behind the scenes, some medical stuff, but nothing crazy. More or less just checkups and stuff, but nothing like, oh god, I have another hernia or anything like that. Nothing like that, thankfully. I mean, other than that, I mean, the only other personal thing I'll say that's going on for me is I started, you know, obviously I don't really talk about health and like, because I'm getting just destroyed by these things. I don't really talk about health and like weight loss and stuff on the channel very much. I mean, obviously, if you ever watch my videos, you can tell my weight has fluctuated up and down over the 4, almost 5. Wow. And I just realized I started my channel like roughly around the same time the Switch came out. So my channel will be 5 years old next year. That's kind of crazy. I should do something for that. I probably should do something for that. What is going on here? I don't even remember this, but that's cool. Oh, this is probably a boss. And we're going to get our ass kicked because we need to probably level grind. But anyways, I totally, like, I'll be the first to admit, like, I was doing really well for a long time with weight loss and stuff. And then last year I had that gall surgery. Was doing really well even after that. Like, I'll say this, like, after having my gallbladder finally removed and stuff, like, I felt amazing for like 3-4 months until we found out that I had that hernia. And then, like, things kind of just took a back seat. Like, I was still doing some exercise and stuff, but after that surgery I just felt like such absolute garbage. that I really let things go longer than I should have, and I didn't do, like, seriously, like, between that and then, like, having all that happen and then buying a house, like, that's a lot of crazy shit to do in a 6-month period. Having, like, a really terrible surgery behind you and then going, all right, it's time to buy a house, and then making a purchase like that is crazy to think about. Like, I'm still amazed that we were able to get the house that we are, and we live in this house now, and it's great. But I had a very hard month in between the job that I currently have and the job that I left beforehand, and so I'll be the first to admit, in that time I gained a little weight, and so I've been working on that. My girlfriend went and joined a gym that's over by our house, and then after like 2 weeks of really actually getting back to what I like to do, I decided, hey, I'm going to go and join that gym too. So I've joined that gym. With that being said, I also started a new diet that I've been very rigorously following. I've already lost 12 pounds in 2 weeks, which is cool. You know, and again, just sticking to that diet. And the funny thing is, like, I searched for a while and I was like, well, I want to do a diet, but every time I've tried to do a diet, it's been like the worst thing to try and do. And so this one, what I'm doing now is actually, I found a book. My girlfriend watches a lot of Iron Chef America, which is not even a show that airs anymore. But we have Discovery Plus, which is a fantastic streaming service. Like, it's the #1 streaming service I use now. Like, she's watched Iron Chef. We were watching a lot of Restaurant Impossible, but we took a break from that because, like, after you watch 6 or 7 seasons in a row of a show like that, and then after every episode you go look up, like, hey, is this restaurant still around? And like 90% of them are totally not. It gets depressing. So we moved on, and I'm rewatching. She's never seen it. I'm rewatching Mystery Diners, which is a really great, just stupid show. It's like a half hour, but I highly recommend it. It's got to be mostly fake, but it's definitely worth watching. And but she watches a lot of Iron Chef America, and one of the chefs on there, Michael Simon, has a book I randomly found on Amazon that's called Fix It With Food, which is, instead of like eating a diet to lose weight, it's more about eating a diet that can fight like inflammation and stuff like that. So inflammation, and like it can help with issues like I'm not going to go too deep in the woods about this because I don't think anybody wants to hear about it, but I personally suffer from IBS. I have since I was 18, I was diagnosed with it. So I have a lot of inflammation issues, and I mean, I'll definitely say, like, I've been on this diet now for 3 weeks. I think 2 weeks since I started going to the gym, although I haven't gone for the last couple days because we just had too many things going on. So I've just been doing the exercise bike in my house. But I will say, like, I mean, I've lost 12 pounds just in 2 weeks of actually doing this diet. Or 3 weeks of doing the diet, 2 weeks of doing the other stuff, the gym. But it's good. It's really good. Highly recommend it. It's a little hard to get used to some of the things in there, but like I don't miss a lot of the stuff that I was eating. I was getting really bad again. Like I was getting really, really bad with it. So I want to look here and see Ice Book. That's cool. I still want to look at this. Hold on. So is that what I picked up from that guy? Okay. So what does that do then? How do I... Whoa! Okay. Whoops. So yeah, I highly recommend it. That guy has another part of that book coming out in December. I've already like pre-ordered on Amazon, and it's good. I drink a lot of smoothies now. I eat a lot more. I mean, I was already eating a lot of fish beforehand. Like, we eat a lot of shrimp, but like I'm also eating a lot of salmon. I think We had Maui tacos the other day that were really good. So yeah, it's been good, man. And like I'll say I feel a lot better eating that kind of stuff than. I mean, I was enjoying cooking some of the stuff I did for sure. Like I got into this habit of I was making Detroit style pizzas, like from scratch. And that shit was good too, but it's not the best thing for you. You can't eat pizza every day and stay healthy. Let's put it that way. And I was doing that, and I was making a lot of burgers, and which I also obviously love a good burger. But I just got to a point where I realized, like, man, I've gained some weight, and then getting on the scale and be like, no, I've actually gained enough where I need to freaking do something. I'm an idiot. So, and then going back and watching some of my recent videos and looking at myself, be like, no, actually, I've really kind of let this go a little too far. So, yeah, I'll be the first to admit I'm working on it, but feeling better for sure. And that diet's been a real big help. So. So that's kind of what's been going on in the background. Other than that, I mean, I think I've mentioned it before on the channel. Like, I started a podcast with two of my buddies. We actually just recorded the next episode last night. It'll go up. I can't remember if I said it for Tuesday nights or Wednesday morning. I have to go in and edit it. I think I already ran the post-production, but then I like to go through and kind of edit the sound quality a little bit before I post it, so I need to do that. But it'll be up either, I think it posts tomorrow night or Wednesday morning. I don't remember what I said it as. But you can listen to it on Spotify, you can listen to it on Apple, iTunes, basically anywhere you get a, wow, I just totally died. Anywhere you can get a podcast, anywhere you want to listen to podcasts, you can listen to it. Podcast 572. So this one I'll actually say too, we had a little hot insider GameStop information, which I think the funny thing is I was hoping to have the episode out before it leaked to the general public, but it's already leaked. But and I've been toying with the idea of making a video about this, but I don't know because it's kind of already out in the wild now. But GameStop's got some PS5s coming this Friday, which, you know, on paper you sit there and you think about it, you say, oh, that's great. You know, I know a lot of people are looking for PlayStation 5s, you know. But the sad part about it is these are in-store bundles only. So it is a in-store only bundle. Whoops. And in the past, at least when I worked at GameStop, and we discussed this on the podcast obviously at length, but in the past when I worked at GameStop and we did bundles like this in store, you could uncouple things from the bundle and, like, say it's a bundle with a PlayStation, a controller, and 2 games, and, you know, the games are something the person doesn't want. You could just return those. Sometimes you can even do it on the same transaction. This bundle they have put together in a way that it's one SKU you scan. So that's not going to be possible, which is, as someone who used to work there, I get it, but it's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. And from my understanding, all locations that are, not every location's getting them. I know in my area of the one store that is getting them, the other 2 neighboring stores are not getting them. The stores that are getting systems are getting 50 of them, but they're all bundles. They'll be for sale on Friday, and 50 of them. Like, it's ridiculous. So, but also I look at it the same way, and I go, well, if you add everything up in the bundle, it's about the same price as buying one from a scalper right now. So, like, I get it. I don't know. I still think one of the smartest decisions I made, I'm going to have to level up before I fight this guy. I still think one of the smartest decisions I made, looking back on it, was when I had the opportunity to reserve one through a friend at GameStop last fall. And I sat on it for like 5 minutes, and I was like, do I really want to buy this? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Best decision I made, because I had no idea it was going to be this bad. So, even though, I mean, I'll openly admit I don't use my... I turned on my PlayStation for the first time this past Saturday to do the Death Stranding save transfer to that new version, and then I played a little bit of this new game called Dungeon Encounters, which we also talk about on the podcast. I have not played enough of it to really speak on it, but my friend Dan, who's on the podcast, speaks of it at length. It's a pretty interesting game, so definitely worth listening to for sure. Definitely worth checking out. But episode 2, that'll be up. I'm gonna check. I think it'll be tomorrow night. I'll check before I end the stream, and I'll look and see what the details are. But I think it posts Tuesday nights, provided I actually, put the file in the right place. So I also need to re-record the guitar intro because it's too long. That's the other thing that I have to do, and I'll probably do that tomorrow. I record all, like, when it comes to, like, this channel, I recorded, the Marble Gallery intro that you guys hear every time I, have a video. That's all me. I mean, I basically created that through some software, but the guitar playing is me. And I did the same thing in a way. It's just kind of a little bluesy guitar riff I did for the podcast, but it's too long. 40 seconds for a guitar intro. 40 seconds for an intro for a podcast, for like a musical intro, way too long. Way too long. So I'm going to cut that in half. I know exactly how I'm going to cut it, too. I also, behind the scenes, you guys can't see it, I actually am in the process of building a second pedal board for my guitar. And so I have a lot more effects and pedals that I'm using now hooked up at once. So I'll probably do a little bit more with it. So... But, yeah, I'm excited to, I enjoyed, we've done 2 of these now. I've really enjoyed my time making the podcast. It's a lot of fun. It's also a chance for me to catch up with my 2 friends, because it's not like I see them every day. One of them, lives in Wisconsin, and so I don't see him, as much often anymore. I think the first time I saw him recently was over the 4th of July. After we were all vaccinated, and some of our family and stuff, their kids were having a birthday party, so it's the first time I've seen some of these people since the pandemic started, man. So yeah, but I don't see him every day since he lives up in Wisconsin, and I live south of there, so obviously you can put that together. I'm in the suburbs of Chicago, so I think that's well mentioned on the channel. I mean, I live in the suburbs of Chicago, so. But yeah, we're having a blast with the podcast for sure. So, actually, I'm totally gonna take this. Damn it. Yeah. I debated starting this and then coming into it like a little bit in, but I decided I wanted to just start the game fresh because it's been a while. Here, I want to see something once. Whoa, that's cool. Be a second, guys. I heard some. Also got a bunch of security stuff at this house, which is really helpful, I will say. It's definitely really helpful. So, I heard this weird noise outside, and I was like, "What the hell is that noise?" It's like somebody's actually dropping off a trailer or something. So, oh, let's see. Honestly, now that I think about it, this is the first time that I have streamed anything from this Xbox, this Series X. I have not, like, literally have not streamed anything from the Series X thus far. I've kind of just been, like... I wasn't really at a capacity to hook it up, and I finally just, you know, when I was sitting down to look at Horror Fest stuff, I was like, well... I got some horror games I want to play on the Xbox. Like, I'm also going to do, so we still have Tormented Souls. That's probably going to be the next stream I do for Horror Fest, is taking a look at that. I have yet to even try that game. I bought it so long. I bought it when it came out, and I just haven't had a chance to, like, even look at it. I want to see where I'm at in terms of leveling up here. Oh, that's not too bad. So what is it? It's not really like... But I want to do that. I'll probably do something on the PC. I just haven't really played a lot of games on PC lately. I was thinking about looking at that Visage game. Might look at that as well. And then I'll probably do something with Resident Evil. I'm probably going to do a stream on Halloween night. Since I think it's a Sunday this year, and my girlfriend is actually working, so originally she was looking at being off, but it's not gonna work out now for her, unfortunately. So I might as well stream something, right? So that'd probably be Resident Evil. I might just do a run of Resident Evil for the remaster, since it's my favorite game of all time, and it's about that time, you know, to do another run, but we'll see. I don't know yet. Again, Horrorfest stuff is always subject to change, so for sure. I do thank anybody who's watched that most recent video I posted on YouTube. It's a very interesting one for sure. I sat for a long time deciding if I wanted to do that video or not, because it's a topic that definitely has caught the eye of a lot of YouTubers, and James Rolfe, who is someone I really admire and respect. Obviously, people are upset, but I think people are upset for the wrong reasons with all that. So that was ultimately why I decided to do it. It has been one of my more recent, like, pretty successful videos. So I think anybody who's watched it, if you haven't watched it yet, please go watch it. As far as what my next video is going to be, I don't know yet. I really stripped Horrorfest back this year, so... I keep coming up here and then realizing I can't go any further. Alright, where is the save room? Let's go back to the save room. I also went back, and I think, I don't know if I've talked about my impressions of Halo Infinite's beta on the channel, but I also talk about it on the podcast too. But ever since doing that video and talking about it, I went back and played more Splitgate, and I just have come to the realization that I think Splitgate is a better Halo game at this point than Halo. So I don't know. It's just everything about Splitgate feels so right. Just with controls, its responsiveness, how tight it feels, and when I look at Halo Infinite, like, I didn't have a bad time with the beta. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say it was trash or anything like that. It definitely wasn't. But I don't know, man. They got big shoes to fill, and I don't think 343's ever really knocked it out of the park with Halo and multiplayer, so it's unfortunate that this time around, multiplayer is all they're focused on. I mean, come on, man. Today is what? Today is October 18th. Wow, it's already October 18th. And we are less than 2 months away now from the release of Halo Infinite. Why is there no campaign trailer? Like a new campaign trailer? Like what is so tight-lipped about this campaign at this point? Like what is it? Like what is it that we're hiding? Because when I look at it, I don't think it has anything to do with hiding the story elements at all. I think they're not ready. And I've been talking to a friend about this, also a massive Halo fan. And I really honestly, at this point, I'm almost wondering if they're going to fully delay the campaign until next year just so they can have campaign co-op and just shove out this multiplayer this fall because they've already promised multiplayer. I don't know. It's a hard one to predict. But the sad part about it is I can totally see it happening. So, or they stick to their guns and they say, "Oh, I'm sorry," like as they have kind of been. They're like, "Sorry, you know what? This features that's been in every Halo game since the beginning is not in this one. You're gonna have to wait for it." I don't know. But all I can say is we're less than 2 months away, and there has been no new campaign trailer, and all they talk about is this multiplayer. And to me, it's really telling. That's what the focus is of Halo Infinite. And, well, I'm not necessarily upset that they're focused on multiplayer. I would love Halo to come back in a big bad way. Multiplayer-wise, it would be awesome. I mean, I've always liked Halo multiplayer. I think 5... Well, I think it was good at the time it came out. It was very different from what came before it. I think this captures more of the classic Halo feel. But time will tell how much they, can retain that Halo feel. I also fully expect them to put a Battle Royale in the game. Like, it just seems like they're going to do it. Even though they've said all along, "Oh, we're not going to do it." I think they will totally do it. And I think they will then try to use the excuse of, "Oh, this is because of fan demand." Even though Halo fans don't want a Battle Royale in Halo. So, time will tell. I don't know, man. Like, it's such a weird and wild thing to think a Halo game's not going to launch with campaign co-op. It's so wild and not at all what I want. So, I don't know. We'll see. We're going to totally, see. I'm still going to play the game. Still going to review it for the channel. It's still kind of my most anticipated game of this year. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, the only other thing I'll say, like, behind the scenes, I was going to play more Metroid because I really wanted to talk about it on the podcast. I went to sit down to play it and realized my downstairs Switch dock wasn't hooked up correctly. And then I realized the cable I needed was upstairs, and my girlfriend was asleep. I didn't want to wake her since she works nights, and this was during the day. So I haven't had a chance to play more Metroid. Last night I was like, I'll play some of it in handheld mode, and I totally fell asleep. So I want to play more Metroid. I like the very, very minute amount of time I spent with the game. It seems really awesome and very competently made. But I can't say much more about it because I legitimately have just not spent time with it. So I've played about 6-7 hours of Far Cry 6, and I like what I've played of Far Cry 6. In fact, that's probably what I'm going to play when we're done with the stream here. I'm trying to devote my time to something that isn't one of these Castlevania games, but it's hard. But I like the time I've spent with Far Cry. I think it's really good. I look forward to doing a review of it on the channel. That's probably the next game review I'm going to do. So it's good. My overall early opinions of Far Cry 6 are it's good. If you like Far Cry, you're probably going to have a good time with Far Cry 6. What does the fairy journal do? Whoops, I always open the wrong thing. Allows... Oh, that's nothing. That's nothing! Is there anything hidden over here? I think I mentioned it too. The fun story about this game is, so it came out. It was a surprise announcement at the Nintendo press conference, and of course, first thing I was like, I mean, I'll probably eventually buy it on Switch. I'm gonna own it on all three systems, but I think I want to wait until there's a limited run Switch, physical Switch version, and then I'll buy that. But so when this game came out, they totally were like, hey, this game's only on PlayStation and Nintendo, and it'll be on Xbox later. And I took that as, oh, it's going to be a while. So I bought it on the PlayStation and played like maybe 5 minutes of it. I was like, oh, I'll start grinding out Circle the Moon tomorrow. I woke up the next day and it's like, oh, it's out on the Xbox. And I was like, well, that's kind of where I wanted to play it. So I bought it again for the Xbox. So I also own it on the Switch. Or on the Switch. I also own it on the PS5. And someday I'll play it there as well. But I will say I've always liked the D-pad more on the PlayStation controller. So, but I totally play this game with the D-pad, so. But yeah, I was super excited this finally got announced because it was heavily rumored for so freaking long, and it came out, so yeah. And I think it's a really well put together collection, so I'd really like to see them do those DS games, like Order of Ecclesia, what are the 3 games? Dawn of Sorrow, Order of Ecclesia, and Portrait of Ruin. All 3 phenomenal games, but because of all the touchscreen controls, I don't know if they can. I really honestly don't know if they can. What am I at in terms of my let's take a look here. Level 4, wow. It is nice to play a different, not Circle of the Moon. I probably dumped like 30 hours in that game, no joke. Just grinding, between grinding out the levels and trying to get these stupid cards. The drop rates are so ridiculous. Like, even if you get the good, like the right equipment to get your luck stats up and stuff, like some of those cards take forever. I had one card, it took me, I probably defeated this enemy over 100 times until it finally dropped. Like, it was absurd. But I can't stress enough, like, especially like when I wake up in the morning and I have a little bit of time before I start work, this collection has been awesome because I can literally just pull open a save from wherever, like this, and just go from where I am, and then save it up whenever I need to save it up and come back to it right where I left off, which, not every game allows you to do such things. So, I keep hitting that button. I mean to hit this one. I want to put this guy down. That should have killed him. That really should have killed him. Really should have killed him. Let's reload our save. But yeah, this collection's been awesome. So. But I went back to Splitgate. I played a little bit of their event that's going on right now. They did kind of a Halloween theme for one of the arenas. It actually looks really cool. I think they did an awesome job with that. And I played like 5 or 6 matches and like just had a great time. Like, every weapon in that game feels so good to use, and it's just like it's incredible, like how much better of a Halo game that game feels than Halo Infinite. So at least from the beta. So again, I'm still reserving judgment until the game comes out. Splitgate is a hell of a game. Splitgate, like, and I've said this before a couple times on my channel, like, Splitgate right now is a front runner as my game of the year. Like, it's really something. I look at that game and just, like, I say to myself, like, the back of my mind, I'm like, you can't make a free-to-play game your game of the year. Like, that's such a dirty thing to do, but at the same time, I don't think any game I have been more impressed with this year than Splitgate. Just how they've been able to make that a reality, like a good Halo game. There we go. I was gonna say, your sword better disappear, dude. Alright, let's bust a save here, just for the hell of it. Whatever. We'll probably play a little bit longer. It's not going to be a long stream, just simply because none of these streams have been that long this year. And I'm still really tired from work, and I have a long day tomorrow. Behind the scenes, my dad, and I don't talk about my parents very often, but my dad had knee replacement surgery in January for one of his knees, and he just had his second knee done, and I have to take him to the appointment tomorrow. Like, this is his first in an office appointment. Everything else has been in home since he had the surgery done. So I have to take him to that tomorrow because obviously he can't drive himself. And so yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. So that's my day tomorrow. I actually had to take off of work to do that, but I had vacation time already, so it's not like a big deal or anything. But yeah, that's my day tomorrow. Like, that's what I'm doing tomorrow. But I'm also going to try and get some of this other podcast stuff done, and hopefully to get that up so that's going, and probably think about what I want to do for my next YouTube video. Does this guy just respawn? No. I want to see if you could farm him. No. The answer is no. But yeah. I'll also say, like, personally, doing a shit ton of, like, I'm doing I would say a little bit, a very small amount of weightlifting with this. Not like dead weights or anything. Obviously, I'm not, I'm not a maniac, but also B, because of the hernia surgery I had, 10 months ago, I don't want to screw anything up. And a lot of what I've read and been told is, like, you need to be careful the first year after that. So I'm not doing anything crazy, but I will say, like, the little bit I've done, man, I'm sore. Like, oh man, you think you go in and you're like, oh yeah, I can totally do like this and be fine, and you're perfectly fine that day, and you're like, oh man, I'm feeling really good, and then you wake up the next day and you go to move and you're like, everything hurts, everything sucks. So that's been fun, but I'm still at that point, so where I'm like, oh man, everything hurts, everything sucks. It's fun. The only other thing I'll say I've done behind the scenes, and I don't think I've really talked about it, but for my birthday, I bought another guitar. It's behind me. You can't really see it, but I always wanted a guitar with P90s. I think I talked about it in the one guitar video I posted on the channel, and that's what this is. And so I bought it. It was not an expensive guitar. I bought it really cheap. It's not like I spent a lot of money on this guitar. The only modification I did to it was I put hip shot locking tuners, because I do that for every guitar at this point. And they should pay me. They should pay me, because I think in that video I said hip shot locking tuners like 18 times. That's the only mod I did for it, and it sounds incredible. It's probably the best like cheap guitar I've ever purchased. I literally don't want to do anything else to it. other than I'll probably change the nut of the guitar out at some point to a bone nut because I think it's plastic right now. But it sounds great. Like, I can't stress enough. Like, cheap guitars today are not cheap guitars 20 years ago. Like, you can get yourself a really quality guitar for $200, $150. Like, even if you go on Reverb or something, you can get something really, really awesome for not a lot of money. And if you're like me, you upgrade it yourself. You do some stuff. So I put pickups in guitars. Over the last year or so, I've the Telecaster I showed on that video, I did everything to it. It sounds incredible now. It was a piece of garbage when I got it, let me say, but it sounds incredible, looks incredible now. And so that guitar has been really fun to play. I've been messing around with all these pedals, and it's been fun. So, but anyways, I think this is where we're going to end the stream this evening. We're just at the hour mark, and I said it was going to be a short stream anyway. So, again, the next stream I do is going to be Tormented Souls. I don't know when exactly. I'm going to figure out the logistics of that. It might be this coming weekend. It might be next Monday. I don't know. One of the reasons I did the stream tonight is because I'm off tomorrow. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed a quick look / evening with the Castlevania collection, specifically Harmony of Dissonance. I'm not going to do a review of it on the channel because I don't think I need to do a review of it. I mean, it's the GBA Castlevania games on whatever platform you have. You can play them, and if you like those games, you're going to like playing them again on a high-definition screen. So, don't know what else I could really say about it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Please go check out that James Rolfe video I posted. It's been extremely successful on the channel. And look on my Twitter account. I'll be posting when I'm going to do the next one of these very, very soon. And also check out Podcast 572. It's on all streaming platforms. You can get it on iTunes. You can get it on Spotify. Wherever you get podcasts, it's there.